Am I the asshole for expecting my husband to help me retire after 32 years of separate finances?
Ooh, I understand separate finance, but y'all got to at least be on the same page about that kind of stuff. Right?
Are you spending frivolously? Are you not preparing for retirement? Are you making dumb financial decisions? I don't expect anyone to take care of me unless it's like we both agree that, hey, we're going to save up for retirement. So if they did their part of the bargain, why didn't you? So I'm going asshole. I'm going to say everyone's an asshole in this stories now.
The cheap way.
Yeah.
I never
Everyone
lose.
sucks.
Yeah, I'll probably go. Okay, we've been splitting. I'll go not the asshole.
Oh, I thought you were going
Bam.
to say no one's the asshole.
Oh, someone's an asshole. There's
That would be
always
the
at least
true
one.
opposite. All right. I, 58 female, have been married to my husband, 60 male, for 32 years. When we first got married, we decided to keep our finances completely separate and split all shared expenses 50-50. At the time, it seemed logical. I wanted to be independent and never wanted to ask my husband for money. We both had similar incomes, and I thought we were being modern and practical. We've always planned to retire it to Florida with a nice home near the beach. Here's where things stand now. My husband is planning to retire next year. It turns out he's been saving aggressively since his 20s, maxing out his 401k and living relatively frugal. He now has about 1.8 million in retirement savings. I, on the other hand, have about 110,000.
That's tough.
That's a discrepancy.
Minuscule amount. I will say this: even if you want to keep things separate, which is I understand, y'all at least have to talk monthly. Like, all right, this is like what I've been saving. This is my investment.
At least yearly.
Just
you
so
know what I mean?
On the same page, like, all right, our goal is to retire in Florida. Are we gonna do that
close?
together? Let's talk about it. It's
Yeah.
crazy to not once ever talk about it until being like, yeah, I think I'm gonna retire next year. Also, when you've been working for 30 years and you've only raised 100,000, you got to be. Were you ever thinking about retirement?
Yeah.
It's
tough.
one-day millionaire type of people sometimes.
That's tough.
Just keep playing the lottery and I'll win someday, you know? Yeah, to me, it's insane that they haven't talked about it. It seems like, presumably, for the past 32 years. Crazy.
Oof.
All right, so they go on to say, why the huge difference? I made different choices. I helped my parents financially for years before they passed. I took 2 years off when my sister was battling cancer. I chose a career in nonprofit work that was fulfilling but paid less. And yes, I probably splurged a bit more with my annual vacations with my girlfriends and nicer clothes. But we always split our bills equally, even when his income grew to double mine. The problem is, my husband wants to sell our home and buy a retirement condo in Florida for $650,000 in a beachfront community. He can easily afford his half, $325,000, plus have plenty left for living expenses. I can barely scrape together my half, and doing so would leave me with almost nothing to live on.
How old is he?
60.
I mean, if you're spending 300,000 right off the bat, you're gonna blow through that fucking.
Well, you're selling your house too,
Yeah,
right?
so you're going to get some
equity.
sort of, something from your house. And then,
I don't know. I just feel like in this economy, you need like 5 at least.
unfortunately, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Like 1.8 is a shit ton of money, but also like, how long will you live off?
Well, they're also living in a state that doesn't have state taxes. So that's probably one thing that can be contributed to that too.
That's true. That's true.
Potentially, yeah.
But I'm just like, I don't know if that's enough.
I'm stunned by how much more he has saved. I didn't realize the magnitude of his retirement fund, and now I feel like he's been stealing from me by insisting on the 50-50 split when he earns so much more. I suggested we put off moving for a few more years and look at more affordable options, maybe $400,000 total. He says he earned his dream retirement and doesn't want to downgrade his plans because of my choice. He insists this was always our plan. Again, crazy you haven't talked since
Crazy
32
to
years
never
ago.
have a checkpoint. Been like, yo, I'm doing pretty good. I got, 200,000 in the last whatever years.
Yeah.
Like, where are you? 20? You said you're at 20,000?
Okay, maybe we'll,
Yeah.
maybe I'll pick up a couple more bills, something like that.
Especially when his income doubled.
Yeah.
He should have been like, okay, like clearly 50-50 doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
If we're gonna retire at the same time, there's no way you could invest what I can invest with your paycheck. So like, let's reconvene to make sure we can retire at the same time. But no, they're just like, John is absolutely right on the fucking button with this one. I think everyone is kind of an asshole, to be honest. I haven't finished, but that's just how I'm feeling.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Last night he created a spreadsheet showing how much each potential retirement home would cost me in terms of additional working years. The $650,000 condo would require me to work until I'm 74, while the $400,000 home would let me retire at 68. He presented this like it was a helpful tool. When I suggested rethinking our financial agreement after 32 years of marriage, he said that would be changing the rules and punishing him for being responsible. He got defensive about how much he sacrificed while I took time off and went on trips. Now we're considering either 1, getting 1 to 2 roommates. Yes, seriously, so I can keep my job and stay close to my friends. 2, living apart from each other in retirement. 3, finding a new job in Florida and working well into my 70s while he enjoys retirement. So Reddit, am I the asshole for thinking that after 32 years of marriage, we should adjust our financial arrangement so I can actually retire with my husband? Or should I accept that our agreement means I have to work into my 70s or get roommates while he lives comfortably?
I will say, I think I still agree with the assessment that everyone sucks in this situation. Yeah. However, I think the husband is the least shitty person in this scenario. Just because, okay, let me just go this first. They both suck is because kind of like the point that you guys said. They didn't have any conversation. Like they don't have those yearly, monthly, whatever check-ins where it's like, all right, where are we at in terms of our goals and retirements? Yes, the original plan was for them to be independent, to have some sort of separate finances. But at the end of the day, marriage, depending on what kind of marriage that you have, it's usually assets that you guys can grow together, right? So it seems like these two people are very individualistic in their approach. However, that's probably what they were about, and that's what worked for them, in their marriage. It seems like it's not working out. However, it will suck. I'll call her the bigger asshole in this situation because yes, he should have stepped up a little bit and said like, okay, well, I'm making double now. Let me help out a little bit. And it seems like both of them didn't have that conversation that, hey, I'm gonna take a few years off. Like, hey, I'm gonna help out her parents and all that. Or you taking, maybe he should have stopped her in the middle of all those spendings, all those vacations. Like, hey, we have a goal. What are we doing here? Why are you spending so much money? It will suck though if he had to compromise on his dream retirement because he did make those sacrifices to have that type of lifestyle. And it just sucks that they didn't have any conversations in between that. So I think they both suck for not being good communicators with each other, but I don't blame him for wanting to have that lifestyle because he did work for it technically.
I'm going to have a hot take here. And I think they're equally assholes.
Interesting. Okay.
I think the hot take is that like, oh no, it's the consequences of your actions, dude. Like, how are you going to make double? You know, she's not making a lot of money. You know, she took 2 years off and that's not his responsibility. He's doing his thing. But at what point do you step in and be like, all right, I know I'm making double. So there's no way you're matching me on investments. There's no way we're going to retire at the same time. That's logic.
Yeah.
2, you're taking 2 years off. You're going on vacations. That again, not my fault, not my issue, but you got to at least be like, you have to check in. And when you don't check in, like now it sounds like there's no way he didn't know she was ready. She wasn't going to be ready to retire. There's just absolutely no way. And for him to spring it up and be like, well, I guess we could just live our separate lives. I'll retire in Florida and I guess you just keep working over. He knew what was going on, I think, in my opinion, because it's just like, how do you not fucking know she took 2 weeks off? She's helping her parents financially.
To be fair,
you're making double.
She also had no idea where he was financially.
That is true.
That's fair. They might just both be really fucking stupid. But I mean, if you're making double, y'all are both saving for the future. He's investing double at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you gotta imagine. She probably knew he was making more, but maybe she didn't know, like, you invest a certain amount
to
over
me,
time.
It's insane that never had a, like,
that's the
it's
part.
so crazy to never
like,
have
what
a
the
talk.
fuck?
But I just think it's like very inconsiderate of, both of them really. But I mean, especially him, because he's in a higher position. And like, dude, like she took 2 years off. She's paying for her parents. Maybe you didn't know she was paying for her parents because y'all don't fucking talk at all. I don't know.
But she also doesn't sound very smart financially with all those splurges, because she did say she did enjoy the finer things. So that's going to cost more money too.
Yeah, for sure. She's also an idiot. I'm just saying, I'm not letting this guy off scot-free. You know what I'm saying? He's also a fucking inconsiderate asshole, in my opinion. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Because, like, logically, how you gotta know you're probably fucking killing her investment-wise. And also, I don't like that he all right, yeah, do whatever you want financially. That's your money. That's what we agreed on. That's our deal. But then, like, kind of hold resentment at the end for, like, well, you did all that fun stuff. That's your fault. I guess you got to keep working till you're 70, which is true. She should keep working till she's 70. But y'all should have had that fucking talk every goddamn year. It's crazy. And I don't know. I think he doesn't really care one way or another if he's married or not.
I agree with all the points you said, Sean. The only point where I get is like, and I mean, this is like splitting hairs at this point, is like, it is your retirement. It is your responsibility. I agree with everything you said. I think he is also an asshole in this situation because, it's also his responsibility to have those conversations.
That's what partnerships are at the end of the day.
If he's aggressively investing, he's got to know that and like he knows all the sacrifices that he's making to make sure that he can aggressively invest. And then he's seeing her
splurge.
He may not know what she's investing. Maybe he thinks she's also investing, which she should have been. But it sounds like, I mean, you could just
lack of communication is
all right. Clearly,
this is the bad. This is the lesson of the story: is no one ever fucking talks to their partners.
Yeah, there's no way I can fucking. She's struggling like me. She's investing like me. Because I can't go on vacation with my boys right now. I'm fucking dying right now.
Yeah.
So there's just like he had to have known because he sounds like more financially
savvy,
smart, savvy, literate. So. I don't know. When you are that financially literate, you gotta like sit down and talk to your spouse. Be like, look, we need to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Because I would get it if they're both dumb and they are both financially illiterate. He just got lucky off something. But it sounds like he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean?
It does.
It's crazy to know what you're doing and then watch idly by and then be like, oh no.
But it's also good for the other person to have some sort of like realization, like, oh shit, I'm not even close to the end goal here. So
for sure.
Yeah, it was also,
we're all agreeing that this talk should have happened 30 years ago.
Yeah, I agree with that because it's just like I don't know. To me, it's insane because it's like, how do you not have a check-in with your partner?
Yeah,
monthly, like Sean said at the beginning, if not yearly, and just be like, all right, here's how much. Like I've saved this year, like where are you at? How can we adjust going forward? It's just insane to me that this has never been a conversation. I don't get it. And Reddit agreed with us. There were a lot of "you're the assholes" and a lot of "everyone sucks." There was one comment here that OP responded to from Pudding7. Said, "Posts like this are bizarre to me. Even if you agreed to split finances, it never came up once in 32 years about how much you were saving."
Yes,
exactly.
Come on.
Exactly.
And after presumably 32 years of a career, you managed to save a measly $110,000. What was your retirement plan exactly? To which OP responded, "I didn't think he was really thinking about retirement when he brought it up. I mean, I know he works a lot, so I figured it was just like dreaming about it kind of thing. And I'm only 58, so I figured I would have a few more years to save."
So now you're delusional at this point.
I'm only 58. Look, that's still young in like life terms. Like you can still do shit. But like as far as like retirement, like me, I'm trying to retire like 65, right? Like that's what we should aim for.
I'm trying to die by then, shit.
I'm not.
I hope not.
That's why I'm doing all this stuff now. So if I go early, fuck it, my life is fulfilled.
I mean, I guess that's a good way to look at it, but you still want to have money for after those years.
We'll see.
But yeah, it just insane to me that they were like, yeah, I got until 65, 7 more years to make over $1 million.
Yeah,
which is
it's not going to happen.
No.
Like I saw a clip and somebody was like, I'm 40 and I've invested $0. I still want to retire at 65. And like the guy that was reading it was like, I think you might be fucked. I don't know if I can help. I honestly, honest to God, don't know if I can help. That's really unfortunate sounding.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever. I don't think we're even going to see Social Security in our lifetime, Sean.
It's gone.
Definitely
it's gone.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I'll be surprised if it lasts through these next 4 years, unfortunately. You know what I mean? So,
nope.
Yeah, there's no way we're getting that.
Yeah, so that was a dark story.
Jeez.
Honestly, whatever you retire with, take that $100,000. Maybe think about living somewhere else. Florida may not be the one. Maybe somewhere,
one of the cheaper states, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd maybe also suggest marriage counseling and also a financial advisor.
Yes, definitely a financial advisor.
Correction Corner.
Whoa.
Newish segment, although we've done similar segments. We'd never called it this.
What are we doing?
What did y'all do?
I'm surprised.
Basically, we were wrong. Me specifically, anyway. I forget what John's take was, but I know Sean was correct in this take last Friday.
What happened last Friday?
So story number 2 last Friday was the man who refused to compromise on the retirement plan with his wife.
Oh, okay.
Sean leaned towards he was more the asshole. And after reading some comments, rereading the story, I think I was wrong. I think he truly was the bigger asshole in that story. Yeah, you can mean manga, Sean. You were correct on that.
It doesn't happen often.
Hey, listening back though, it was pretty selfish of him at the end.
Yeah, no, listen. I there was some parts I either downplayed.
We didn't go over.
Well, you brought them up. I just, for some reason, it did not click with me when I was first reading through it with you guys. But it definitely did seem like he was unwilling to compromise and was like pushing her out of his life. And that made it seem like he was maybe taking advantage of her for the past 30 years.
As soon as he was like, I could just move there, you could stay here, I guess. I was like, oh,
yeah,
how about this one?
Definitely my bad, and I'm not afraid to admit when I was wrong. I definitely overlooked that, and I do still think she is dumb for not communicating for 30 years.
That part I still agree with.
I think we all agreed that all of them sucked, or both of them sucked. But
I think it was me that said that he sucks a little less. So I'll take an L for that, and I don't have an issue taking an L.
Yeah, we might have been on the wrong side of that, John, that's okay. It's how it happens. But yeah, so Sean, you get to bathe in the glory of being correct on that one.
All right, peanut allergy people, this is what you want. I'll go ahead. Just kidding. You thought it was coming. Never in a billion years, peanut allergies.
But I just like to issue corrections when, they're rightfully due.
This is kind of like when we had the dress. We fucked up nasty on the wedding dress.
Yeah, long time ago. But yeah, we're not perfect.
We don't. If we shoot 100% all the time, then it's not fun anymore, guys. It's okay.
Y'all don't want us to be perfect.
But we will own up to it if we fuck up badly enough. So
I just didn't even know they made wedding dresses in red. I mean, truly,
red dress.
Interesting. But yeah, with that out of the way, we appreciated the comments, the nice ones. There were a couple that went a little overboard, but
I saw a mean one recently to me and John about an old story. I said, wow. I forgot we even did that.
Really? Which one was it?
It was the cat one.
Oh,
the cat one that
Oh, everyone hates me for the cat one, and that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, me too. We were somebody told me I should give Car and Chip to Josh. I said, oh shit.
Oh, wait a minute.
I would love to have
I know you
cats,
would. I would be deeply devastated.
Yeah, I would never take them from you.
Damn. So we could say like 99 things correctly, and the one time we fuck up, we can.
To be fair, they were like, love you guys, and I think they were mostly joking. I think.
Yeah, I assume most are trying to be constructive. So
yeah, constructive is fine. I'll take that.
I take most of them like that. There are the occasional one where I'm like, okay.
And at the end of the day,
that one hurt.
It's an opinion podcast. It's a comedy podcast that we lean in majority of the time. And if we're wrong, We're wrong. We never say we're experts in anything.
Quite the contrary.
Oh, yeah. We're dumbasses.
We say that often.
Get therapy.